Okay. Previously in the GodBreaking, a group of monster hunters on the mortal world, under a quest given by an old and um, harrowed and wizened slayer of monsters, sought out a god in hiding, Garl Glittergold, who had taken refuge on this plane when the heavens had come under attack. He had bid them one thing, one task: to slay the Mastery, a creature from from before the Shattering, something that had haunted this world, a ghost of the time before. And the Mastery, this dark murkiness, this shadowiness, had been hunting Garl Glittergold. So he bid you kill it. And you guys, along with Geralt of Rivia, the guy who had led you here, went off to seek it out and track it down. But it came to you instead. And over the course of an entire night, you saw it in its many manifestations: shadow twisting together, aberrations, monstrosities, lions breathing darkness and flame. And when it had finally extracted from you the location of Garl Glittergold, it rushed off to his mountain and beat him into submission. And when the party of monster hunters, you guys went to try to intervene, you fell quickly to the onslaught of massive energy that was being outpoured there, as a god was overpowered and before your very eyes. At that exact moment, who was it that used the luminant beaconary? Beacon.
Elwin.
Yeah. Was it Elwin? Yeah, Elwin. At that moment is when you opened up the eye of the heavens to gaze up to the mortal plane and see where Garl Glittergold was, and you could see a man you knew, sheathed in blackness and shadow, standing over this god. The body outside, bodies of mortals on the ground lying around him, and you knew that you guys recognized him as a much older, darker Telephos. You guys came down to the mortal plane and stopped his attack. You brought back, through the power of your awakened magics, brought back to life Ava, his Telephos' long lost love. You brought back his youth and his vitality. You resurrected the slain monster hunters and recruited Garl Glittergold to your side. So that's where we left off. You guys are right now on the mortal plane, in the hills of Aramor, a land formerly known as Aralyn, far away from any kind of civilization. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, like right around here. They changed all these icons.
It is not at all confusing, right?
Yeah, like in the game, I'm having trouble finding stuff because they changed all the icons.
Yes.
I don't even get why they're doing this when. Wow.
Okay.
If you zoom in on your circle, Midas, that you drew, you'll notice they changed the circles too. They're segmented. They got little cracks in them now.
Wonder why. What do they do?
It's not circular anymore. They're lines.
Yeah, a bunch of lines making a circle.
Yeah.
So they're changing the way they code stuff, huh? Lines,
We're
normal.
probably getting ready for Unity.
Yeah, probably. Testing some shit
Squares.
out.
Yeah, but they're not going to turn this into the Unity version, though.
Yeah,
It's going to
just
be a
to get ready to
separate
test it.
program. That's a good point.
It's weird. Bring compatibility over. These must be the new icons. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you right click on the maps and all the stuff, all the icons have changed. I'm having to mouse over everything to figure out what it all is. Anyway, okay. So you guys are right now in the mountains of Aramor. This rejuvenated. You've brought this area back from the carnage that had just happened, bringing life back to these dead people, youth, and really bringing Ava back is what has rejuvenated Telephos. What do you guys want to do? Oh, you had cast call forth ally, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember who you summoned?
Mistra, Elwyn's harem, which was 3, if I'm not mistaken. The drow lady who likes to try to kill Deimos, the dwarf, and the prince.
Okay. Can you link the spell real quick?
Yeah. Where is it? There it is. Oh wait, that was only 7 people. Let's see, Mistra. Elwyn, how many girlfriends do you have? Is it 3 or are there 4?
I don't want them all together, so I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah, but I know them, so.
There was the 3 that he had met in that bar that one night, and then
His wife, so 4. Yeah,
did you guys get married? I don't think you guys got married. Eloise. Eloise,
Yeah,
the
Eloise.
No.
Jordan
So
Queen.
Eloise, the 3 other chicks, Mistra, the dwarf, the prince, and the chick who's always trying to kill Deimos.
Okay, which dwarf?
Those 8. The god guy.
Okay.
The one that's like part guy, god, the one with the really cool hammer.
All right. So, as Ava and Telephos are catching up, they're wrapped in each other's arms. There's lots of tears, and they're sharing about what's happened. And you see, Telephos is extremely remorseful. He spent 30 years believing that Ava was beyond his reach, and has done many things in those years trying to figure out ways to get her back, and trying to seek vengeance on those who he blamed for killing her. Many things that he's not proud of. So they have a lot to work through. You guys continue about your business here as you issue the Come Forth Ally spell. Let's see here. Euphemia outright rejects the.
Oh, she wasn't invited in anyways.
Did you? I think she was on your list, wasn't she? Well, she
Never.
rejects
Yeah,
the
Euphemia.
summoning.
Euphemia was on my list.
Oh, gross.
The Okay.
I feel like she does send something, and that is a finger, and that's about it.
There's no mental communication. They just
Let's
they just basically get a do you want to come, yes or no, pop up in front of them, and they say yes or no.
I'm gonna write this list out so I remember. Kildrak, Mistra, Kildrak, Harem, Eloise. Who else did you say?
Douchebag.
The dark elf chick.
Yeah, Euphemia.
Euphemia.
1,
So
2,
that's 1,
3,
2,
4, 5, 6, 7. I need one
5,
more.
6.
Who was the one more?
The prince.
Oh yeah, Darius.
So
Okay.
we bring the prince.
Okay. So Euphemia rejects your summon. A few minutes go by as this curious response, this curious question that's been sent out all across the plane is met. If you could see the responses all around the continent, you would see moments of disbelief, some gasps of surprise, and then portals begin to open up all around you, and people begin to step through them. Okay, let's do this first. So, the first one to arrive is Eloise. Elwyn, when you look down towards at her from the heavens, several sessions ago, before we started playing the interlude, you saw her working with the dwarves to rebuild Vortum, the capital city of Cragland. She looked older to you, but not much older. That's because dwarves age a lot slower than humans. If a dwarf's lifespan is typically in the 200-year range or less than 200 years, that means they age at about a third the rate of humans. So she looks 7 to 10 years older than the last time you saw her. Going from a woman in the prime of her youth, she's now a little bit more mature. You see some wrinkles at the corners of her eyes. Her face is is a bit narrower. Her hands a bit rougher, and her countenance just sharper in general. She steps out, Elwyn, and she looks around, her eyes wide in surprise as she looks at each one of you in turn. Deimos, Adis, Renly, Telephos, and Ava, and then finally back to you, Elwyn. She gasps and she says, "Godspeed. I didn't dare to think that I would ever see you again. Elwyn." And she takes a few steps forward. "Elwyn, do you remember me?"
I think he's in shock.
I'll step forward and I'll open my robe. And I'm not wearing any underwear.
She pauses, and she you see a bit of a frown across her face, and she says, "I see." She says, "You haven't changed at all, have you?"
If
not.
this is what we deal with, yes.
But I'll go up to her and give her a biggest hug.
She smiles and
Say,
returns your embrace.
We have a lot of stories to share.
She says, Aye, we do." She says, have you returned? Have you returned for good? This world has gone to shite. We certainly could use some help."
I can see that. I'll start explaining exactly what we've been doing. How for us, time hasn't gone as much time has gone by. We've been fighting the heavens. I'll just tell her the whole thing, leaving out that I'm probably gonna get married over there too.
As you are starting this, I will cough and be like, "Shall I get some tea prepared as we wait for..." And I point to the other port. In case you don't want to repeat this 10 times.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just enjoy each other until everyone gets here, and I'll just sit down and ask her.
Would you like a mansion, Elwyn?
No, thank you. I'll ask her how she's been.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, as you guys are catching up, she mentions that she has been, the dwarves have had a devil of a time just trying to gather in all their, they moved back to Cragland, which is a huge trek. They lost many of their number in the devastation afterwards, and bringing in a lot of the mountain tribes and those who had retreated underground. in their nation. It took 15 years just to reunite the dwarven clans. But in the last 10 years, they've done a lot to try to reestablish the kingdom. Then the royal line. She talks about she's not the queen. She's not the ruler of Cragland. They found a family with royal blood and made them the the monarchs. But she is one of the highest ranking officers and officials in the land.
Is she a Sigma again?
Yes, but her primary duty is not warfare. She does a lot of overseeing of development of the city. She's her heart for warfare has waned ever since the shattering, ever since the huge battle in Rapnesh, when she led the dwarven forces there along with all the armies of man and elves that you guys fought in. She's hesitated. She hasn't wanted to bear her axes ever since then.
Oh, wow. So you have changed.
She says, I have.
Have your feelings towards me changed?
She smiles. She says, well, a lot can happen in 30 years. She says, I've had a number of lovers since then. And they've gone the way that most usually do. He says, let's just say that I am not opposed to restarting a conversation from where we left it.
Do you still have the ring I gave you?
She pauses. She reaches down underneath her leather jerkin, and she pulls it out. She says, this has never left my side.
Good. It's the teleport ring.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My Uber ring. Okay.
Stepping out from the portal next, you see a dwarf. A dwarf who is in the prime of his years, so he's probably 100 years old now. Much stronger, much more regal than the last time you saw him. When last time you saw Kildrak, he was working an anvil way off in the wastelands. He was learning the delicate craftsmanship of the god of the dwarves, Modron. But but since then, over the past 30 years, he has come more into his divinity. He has accepted a lot of his role, and you can see a nobleness where before he'd always been a bit insecure, a confidence where he was shy beforehand. He's not a full-fledged god, but he is, he's probably equivalent to what Tempest would be, a demigod.
It's a bullshit. Take that back. Some fine words. How can I wrestle the DM?
Use your miracle.
Get over here.
Better spark that with the D5.
Where? I'll contest an athletics check. Can I do this?
Yeah, see what you get. See what you get, little guy. That's some bullshit. That's some fucking bullshit. You're taking the roid. I know it. I'm all natural. Fake news.
Wait, can I jump? I got this. I got you, Dima. Hold on. Here's my streak check.
Yeah, it's nice. Get some gains on. Also,
There's
your heart's gonna give out. Your muscles are too big. You're
There's
gonna
even a
die.
-1 in there.
Actually, I just think that the GM auto rolls a 20 every time.
I just haven't turned that mod on. Um, okay, so Kildrak steps out and he looks at you all and he says, "Well, Abby, it's been a long time." He looks at you from one to the other. He says, "Did you get it done? Did you fix the heavens?"
Not even close.
Come, have a seat.
So-
Have some tea while we wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We took out one level. The next level, we're like 90% done.
Wait,
Except it's
he
dying.
says, he says,
We're taking.
"It's been 30 years, and you've been through one level."
Did
I'll
you
just-
just say
Well-
it's
well-
been 30 years and you've only conquered one level of heaven? As we're 4 of us? Is that what you're saying? 4 people took 30 years to conquer one level of heaven? Sorry, one level and change?
Deimos.
Oh, I'm so sorry that 4 people had a hard time taking over motherfucking heaven.
Deimos, don't sell yourself short, bro. It only took us about 2 weeks.
It took us like 2 weeks.
Don't blame us for the time dilation. Go away. Sit down, eat your
You
drink.
see him. He's tuned you out, Damos. He's thinking he's doing something. He's like, "Now, I'm no genius, but with 6 at this pace, with 6," he says, "with 6 phases of the mountain to go," he says, "Damn it." He says-
Yeah,
He looks-
so I don't think you understand.
in-
So there's all the most powerful demons and there's bad gods now and
Mhm.
primordial forces. I don't think you understand.
But don't forget,
Like the queen
Deimos.
of old hell.
Don't forget, Deimos. It took us a while to get the first one. The second one we did even faster, and while we were on the second one, remember, we brought the lead demon from the 3rd level down and you ripped his balls off and shoved him down his throat.
Shoved him right fucking off.
Yeah,
You wanna
it's not
know
like
where the
we used
veil-
all our miracles. No,
So
We
Oh,
got rid of the veil. We got rid of the fucking veil.
He says,
Yeah, there's that
"That
too.
you did. I acknowledge that." He says, "I felt it drop a couple hours ago." He's looking around. He says, "This changes everything."
Yeah, cheers. You're welcome.
Yeah, that happened when Deimos ripped the dude's balls off and shoved him down his throat.
Also, we're gonna take out the demon lord in this world because I don't like him. Round 3, fucker. He took us the last 2 times. This time we're gonna crush that many-faced bitch.
Are you talking about the worm?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Oh, you actually want to go kill him now?
Just beat his ass.
Wait, which worm? The one that
Yeah, the one that killed Balinar.
Oh, that's
What if we
right.
took that one and dropped him in the middle of the shattering? I'm not the shattering, but the
I'm gonna I'm gonna crawl inside of him and pull him apart from the inside.
Yeah, he would still be stuck underneath the. Last time you saw him, you trapped him back inside the underground temple, the ancient underground temple
Yeah,
in Borthol.
fuck that guy.
Well,
I'm
what
Uh,
would happen if we put him in the mall?
Kildrak is with you. That
What?
he says, "Hey, that's an adventure I can get behind."
Also, we're taking you to heaven. Fun facts. You don't have a choice.
Yeah,
Y-
you've got to
Thanks
be
for understanding, Kildrak.
You got to
You
be
will
the new
outlive
boss.
all those you love.
We have the Smith Archangel, and I think you're gonna get along just great.
You're going to be the new ruler of the 3rd level of heaven. Not
Is that-
hell, heaven.
That one's still there. It's still alive.
He says,
No, that guy. Oh yeah, one of them is, not both.
"Just hold on, guys. This is a lot for me to take in."
I don't care. Do you know what we've been through? Look at my whitey tighties. I have no armor.
He says, "I was wondering why your tits were out, but." He says, "Okay. Yes, we've been working on a lot of things down here. So I don't know if you can see or if you can feel what this world is like." He says, "But this world is falling apart. It's been taking everything I have to just hold basic things together. Would you believe what it's like to try to for a culture to try to rebuild when their god is dead, the god of craftsmanship is dead, when things like basic things like forges and fires are beginning to stop working. When simple enchantments are 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 no longer effective. When the moon no longer rises in the sky at night. He says. He shakes his head a little bit. It's been crazy down here.
I think you just volunteered to be the new god of craftsmanship.
Oh my gosh, that's a great choice.
You know, there is a forge up there in the
Mhm.
heavens we have to go to. I think you would like to visit it at some point.
That sounds like a perfect plan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
What a
I'm gonna
great,
go.
he's gonna be the master of that forge.
what a great thing. You can make us so many things for free. You're welcome.
Okay. He nods. He says, "Yeah."
Also, we found out in heaven. I look him dead in the eyes. Euphemia, she's still a jerk. It's in paper. It was written on a rock. It's in stone. It's been prophesied that she's still a jerk, and she stabs people for literally no reason.
He winces at that. He says, "Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it." He says, "And by the way, just so you know," he says, "that thing between me and her, it only lasted a few years. I haven't spoken to her that.
I'm surprised she might like you for so long.
Last time I saw her, she went to the Underdark, and she said, 'Fuck off and never talk to me again.'"
That
And
sounds exactly right.
so yeah, that was 28 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I invited her to this little shindig. She politely declined.
That's insane. She would definitely have come. Because you're a super powerful wizard and she loves powerful shit and she would have
Maybe
asked you for things.
Maybe she doesn't want to kill you anymore, Deimos.
She never wants to kill me.
Hmm.
She did not like Balinar though. I'll tell you that one for sure.
Well, maybe I'll message her and tell her we're gonna go kill that worm, and maybe she'll come help us.
No. She'll help the worm. Don't ever say that. Alright, Killdrake. Who's next in this portal list?
Let's see here. You're getting mixed things. Let's see. No response from Darius. Because and also in the harem, of the 3 women that were fond of Elwyn, and Eloise knew them. She was, remember, they were traveling in the dwarven convoy. She had made friends with them. And the convoy had gotten attacked, if you recall, before the final war, and one of the ladies died in that attack.
I was wondering if anyone remembered that.
Yeah, but we saved 3 of them though,
There were 3, and one of them died. You saved 2.
and I thought Elwyn saved the one that died though.
No.
Because I remember them having a 5 tent afterwards. Actually, I think it was a 6-way because I think Deimos joined in too.
Nope. But I'm
Coming
pretty
through the portal next is one of the ladies.
Ew. You're ugly looking.
She looks around, 30 years older, no longer a young woman, but still beautiful and well adorned. She'd risen up to a place of nobility in the time that she's been around. She looks, and there's some surprise, and she raises an eyebrow. She says, "Oh dear, I never thought I'd see your faces again. Elwyn, darling," she said, "it's been forever. You don't look like you've aged a day."
Let me see. Who are you?
She
Your
says,
past
she chuckles. She
really
says,
haunt you.
she says, "I'd expect no other response." She said, but she's looking over the spectacles, and she says, "Surely you recall
Oh, those eyes. I remember you.
Yeah, there was one with glasses. This is the one with glasses.
Yeah.
Which one is she?
Ah,
Is she the blonde?
hold on, let me look it up. Which one was one with glasses? Here. That one.
Ah, okay, okay.
Okay. Um, she says, I was curious as to what this summoning bit was. I must admit that I hadn't thought of you hardly at all for quite some time. But it is pleasant. Might I ask what you wish of me? I have quite a bit of business back where I come from.
And where is that? You look like you're doing good for yourself in this shithole of a world.
She smiles, she says, the land of Waterdeep, formerly known as Waterdeep. We've been rebuilding. I had relatives there. Returned and, over the past decades, have built up a fortune and power of my own.
Well, girl whose name I don't remember.
Charisse.
We're about to... Charisse, we're about to let everyone that we summoned know what's going on in the heavens. If you wish to stay and let your people know of how we're fighting for everyone there, you can stay, have some tea. We're at least pretty good at brewing some good shit.
She smiles and she says, would be glad of it. Yes, and I believe I can. I have much influence amongst the nobles of Waterdeep. So anything you communicate to me, the information is safely in my hands. I will bring it to the people there. Okay? Oh, and as she walks,
Sounds
she
great.
she gives you a slight bow. As she walks by, she totally grabs your dick and keeps walking. She just like gives it a small squeeze as she walks by.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to put
I
it away.
passive perception saw that. There it is, your dick, okay? You grab that shit real hard.
Just like I remember.
Please. High five.
Okay.
High five.
As it's happening, so the four other characters that you guys had that you met. So I mean, well, five really. So there's Brawl, Gwaine, Max Dastardly, Zelona, and Geralt. They're kind of just watching this whole process. A couple of Zelona is still dumbfounded, and and geeking out. Gwaine is you see him holding on to his holy symbol, and as he reveres you all, because which deity was it? Deimos that he worshipped, or
All of them.
all of them? Yeah,
All of them.
yeah. So
Elwyn
he's having a
was
religious
like
experience,
yeah.
and you healed him in several ways. So his speed is back up to normal, and his
Our dick's working the most maximum way now.
yeah, they're fully functional.
As normally.
I'm gonna get really dastardly with it.
Great. You sound mysteriously like Deimos, and I sound mysteriously like Elwyn.
Oh my gosh.
Brawl is hiding off behind a rock, but it's upwind, so
We can all smell him.
yeah, this whole place smells.
You're not even stealthy. I can hide better than you, and I suck at
The whole place reeks of shit.
Oh, guys. There's a man covered in feces. He says, this must be a very confident human.
Gwaine summons his Adis and says, Adis, look, that's you.
Oh my god.
I disintegrate the dog.
I counterspell you. I don't have it. I can't.
Okay.
By the way, guys, pray to your gods, which happen to all be Tempest. Here's your pamphlets, every one of you.
Do you
Was that
need more of
Deimos
those?
or-
Do you need more of those, Deimos?
Coming through the portal next, you see a flash of golden sunlight. It's kind of in the evening now. The clouds are still overhead, so it's pretty dark around. But through the portal, you see flashing of light, and streaks of and wisps of of divine radiance. As now, still very much an adolescent, but a few years older looking than the last time you saw her. Elves age even more slowly than dwarves do. The young resurrected Mistra. You brought her back. I think it was with your miracle or something.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It brought her back. She retained a hint of her divinity, but no longer was she the mistress of the weave. So she's immortal with a divine presence, a divine spark in her, but no portfolio, no realm of magic to oversee. She walks through. She's shy. She says, "Hello. I received this summons and I. Oh."
I just run over to her and drop to a knee in front of her.
She gasps. She says, "I remember you."
Disintegrator.
Remember us. We're followers of Tempest. It's hard to forget.
She says, "I'm sorry. Please don't bow to me." She says, "I'm not the type of person you should be bowing to."
Especially someone who disintegrated a dog.
We disintegrated a dog just seconds ago.
I never marked off the spell, so
He's a dog murderer.
I didn't mark off the spell slot, so it never happened.
Okay. He wanted to do it though, I swear.
She looks at you all, and you can see now that you guys are looking. All of them are looking at you four differently than the last time you saw them. There's even if they know you, even if they recognize you, there's a hint of awe in their eyes. You guys have changed. You may not see it, but in their eyes, you are very much there's a difference to you. So even Kildrak and Mistra, who have divinity within them, they're in their mannerisms and the way they speak and the way they're paying you guys deference. She says, "Please do not bow to me." She says, I should be the one bowing to you." And she drops to both her knees.
You just look what you made you do. She said about the dog murders.
I will motion her to rise and say, "Regardless of how we have changed, I am forever your servant."
She says, That's kind of you, but," she says, I'm not worthy of anyone's service." She says, I'm just a small person." And she's shy. She's kind of hiding behind her own. She's just kind of shying away a little bit.
So we got 4 of the 8, right?
So far, yeah.
So far, okay.
Yeah. Euphemia declined. Nothing responding from Darius. One of the 3 harem girls is dead. So 1, 2, 3. So you're just missing
1 harem person.
And Darius.
Darius didn't get a response
No,
from.
the prince.
Yeah, that's Darius.
Pretty sure he's dead.
No, Darius.
Oh,
No,
oh,
I
wait.
thought the other prince.
If
The
I
boy?
was
Yeah, boy prince. Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
my character would have known that the harem chick was dead. So could I make the 8th the prince from Haslin? That's the one you're talking about, right, Owen?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was his name? Prince Tyrell.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someday we will remember his name before he dies.
Oh, and Elwyn, if there's anybody else you want here for this conversation, I can cast the spell a couple more times.
I was thinking, do we know which one of the dragons survived? If any.
You do not know that.
You could ask Mistra and your wife.
Well, after the first round of summoning happens, we'll try to, because I want to make this like a council of the new world that's left over. That way we can start bringing everyone together and get everyone informed of what's going on.
Okay.
Good idea.
Okay. So you're swapping one of the harem girls out for Prince Tyrell.
Yeah,
Let me
the
see
dead one.
here. Give me a second.
Pablo, we gotta get Pablo.
Pablo's a king now.
Dude, he is probably like epic chimichanga
He'll
salesman
become
now.
the god of food and
Yeah.
drink.
No, he expanded. Deimos had a slip of the tongue. He expanded to
Yeah.
What? It wasn't chimichangas. It was
Churros.
No, it wasn't chalupas. It
No.
wasn't churros. It was I forget what you said.
I don't even know. Some other generic food.
Yeah.
Hot dogs.
Okay. Passing through the next portal is this guy.
Ooh, he king now?
Look at you. You're all grown up, little man.
He walks through, and as the portal closes behind him, you can see he's in his full regal armor. He looks around. His eyes again. Shock comes to them. He has a very regal manner to him. He's definitely grown into his role, and he.
Is that your day wear? Do you always wear that much?
Of course he is. He's ready for war. Follower of Tempest. I'm proud of you, son. And I pick him up and hold him and dent his armor with a hug.
His stern, serious face creases into a smile. You know, he's like 40 years old now. And you hear a hearty laugh come from him. He says, "Deimos, Renly, you finally returned to us. Oh my, the years have gone by." He says, "Deimos."
I'm sorry I broke your armor.
He says,
It's not your fault. It was weak.
You can give it to Keldrak, and I point
I rip it off of him, and I give it to Kildrak. Kildrak, could you fix this armor? I broke it, and then I ripped it.
As you pull off the armor, you see underneath his body, his torso is full. He's well ripped, defined muscles, and his body it looks like a professional athlete.
Looks like you've been reading Deimos' pamphlets.
You've been reading my pamphlets.
He says, "Deimos,
Pay no attention to the tentacles."
you left us those instructions."
Yes. Are you all jacked?
He says, "Well, let me explain. We put them into wide use amongst all of our people, all the people of Hasselin, just in memory of you, and also as a better way of life. For 10 years, a little bit more." He's pondering. He says, "For 20 years, we followed the way of the warrior, the way of Deimos,
Yes.
the way of Tempest." He
Yes.
says, "We became a nation of fully jacked people."
Deimos is crying somewhere. He can
He says,
barely stand
but
up.
he says, "Deimos,
In a tent.
Deimos."
Yes.
He says, "Something happened
What?
a few years ago.
What happened?
All the holy texts changed."
What? How? They just
says,
been updated with
they
new
changed.
crayons.
He pauses. He says, he shudders. He says, "They changed to horrible nightarish pictures.
Tell
I
me.
had Deimos, don't come back to Hasselin. I had to purge the land of everything that had to do with you." He says, "There's no
I'm so
offense, but
confused.
I had to do it for the children. Okay,
What happened?
the horrible pictures and acts
Who
that
rips
were
children?
being described, and that, I mean, it was in children's textbooks.
What?
And I'm sorry, just
No.
so you know, you're not welcome in Hasselin."
Your text messages went into all the books, Deimos.
I'm so confused. We will find what happened, and I will fix these texts.
And I look at my pamphlets,
says
but to
it
me
was
they look perfectly
weird.
fine.
Tentacle porn and
What?
yeah, it was
Tentacles. What are tentacles?
anal fissuring and it's just-
Right
I
there.
don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
right there. I point on to a tentacle.
No. What are you talking about?
Is this what his pamphlets look like right now?
yeah.
You're,
Cable Hall corrupted.
this is how you can go from an incline bench to an
Deimos,
overhead press and slam it down to a few squats. It's a workout routine. I don't see what you're talking about.
I didn't make these papers for you for this.
What are
You said you said you
Guys.
were advertising Tempest, not
Guys, what are you looking
War.
about? Look at all these things about
See,
Tempest and
something
working
is
out.
slamming on something else, but not what you're saying.
No, look, these are crazy dumbbell presses with a great circular motion. See what I'm pointing at right here? I have no idea what you're talking
Damn,
about.
He says-
Deimos, those are octopus tentacles.
No, what?
The king says, Deimos,
No.
Deimos, please forgive me. I had to do it for the children, and because I had to purge your name because in all these pictures you're crying like a scared
Just don't
little
know.
baby.
I don't
And
know what's going on.
I couldn't
It's
stand to
mistake.
to have that person be the idol of an entire nation. So I'm sorry. Just stay here. Don't come back to Haslin.
You've been exiled.
I'm still coming back. I'm gonna reclaim my name. They'll never even know.
Now we know what Deimos is using his next miracle for.
Okay. So that's the King Tyrell, and the final person to step through is the final harem lady, right?
Yeah, if she comes.
Or Darif.
Yeah, it was the elf, I think. What was the one that survived what Nadal?
No,
I
they
don't
they
know.
were. It was another human.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me find her. Where was it? One second. What? I had it here. Oh,
Should
okay.
have a folder just Elwyn's horse.
Steps out. You hear the portal opens, and you hear a voice coming through the other end. He says, "No, that's not how you do it. I've been telling you the proper way to." And she walks through the portal, and she shakes her head, and she looks around. She says,
Oh my
Yes.
I don't believe it.
Oh shit!
No. Get that fucking picture out of here.
Oh
She-
my god.
she looks around, and she looks at you, Owen, and she goes, "Oh," and then she looks over, and she sees Gwaine, and she goes, "Oh." and she looks back at you, Owen, and back at Gwaine, and she says, "A bit awkward, is this?"
Through the portal though, as she walked through, was it the other girl on the other side?
The other old lady that you guys put in charge, that they had put in charge of that town.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were manning, they were like overseeing the rebuilding of one of the barns that had been collapsed. So like, yeah. She says, "Well, if this isn't a bit of a trip down memory lane," she says, "Oh," and she looks at Charisse, and she says, "Oh, you've done well for yourself, girl. Like, must be nice to be nobility and not just a common whore like me." She saunters over to you, Elwyn, and she says, "You haven't aged a day."
And you look stunning as well.
She
Look
smiles.
At us,
She
the
says,
group back together. My
She smiles.
ladies.
She says, "Oh, Elwyn," she says, "have a thing for older women, do you?"
I have a thing.
You have no idea.
And then Gwaine is going, I have a thing.
Just like Wayne's go. And Adis, behind you, Mistra, like she's huddled behind you. She peeks her head out. And she says, "Adis, what are they talking about?"
You don't want to know.
She says,
Oh, by the
"She's
way,
far
I
too
put my
old for
thing
him."
away when Mr. showed up.
What was that? I missed
She's-
it because of the laughing.
Oh, he said he put his thing away when Mistra showed up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is a reunion of sorts. These are the old, all your old friends and allies, 30 years later. You're not sure what's happened to Darius, or why he's not responding to your invitation. And Euphemia is just, was not going to respond anyway.
Real quick, I'll shoot a. What level is it? I'll shoot ascending to both of them that says, "Hey, what's up? How's it going? Want to come hang out and find out what's going on up in heaven?"
Okay.
Something like that to each of them.
Do you call in Terry's?
You did not call
I'm
Terry's.
just doing this. Yeah, I was gonna put a list, put 8 names in chat that you want me to bring Ellen, and then I'll bring them with the next. I was just sending ascending to Euphemia and Darius to see if they're still alive. Or on this plane.
I don't know if it would give you any indication of where they are.
No, that's
Or
why
if
I'm
they were
sending.
alive. Yeah.
That's why I'm sending, because Call Forth Ally only works if they're on this plane, so no response for
Yeah.
Darius means he ignored it, he's dead, or not on this plane.
Yeah, so he's on the
Maybe
plane. They're both
And I'll be
on
like-
the plane.
Yeah,
You're
I'll tell
looking
him.
to the weave, and then you can follow that string.
I'll
You
be
can
like,
probably-
"Hey, it's Adis. What's up? How you doing? We're having a powwow. Would like it if you came and joined us."
Reject right away. They look at the caller ID.
Probably.
Um,
Wait, doesn't Darius have one of the stones?
he
Or
did
had?
way back in the day.
I'll use the stone for him and or her. Or Ellen,
No,
why don't you just do a broadcast?
yeah, no response from either of them for the sending message, and neither of
Okay.
them. I mean, Euphemia still has her stone, but she doesn't respond either.
Alright.
Darius does not have his stone anymore.
Alrighty. Well, put me together a list, Ellen, and I'll bring anybody else you think needs to be here for this chat.
I'm gonna ask Killjack if he knows if any of the dragons survived.
This is the only picture I have of Killjack. I should get another picture of Killjack, because that was the profile picture that he had used for his character a long time ago. The Killjack pauses, and he thinks for a second. He says, "It's been a while." He says, "After the shattering, there's rumors, legends of what happened to the dragons. Several fell and were never seen again. Tales tell of one that dashed off into the sea. Another tells of a dragon that dove into the earth and never returned. Of those, I can only speculate. They're hiding, or have moved on to other lands. We know that many of them fell. The dragons of fire, no more. The dragon of wind and storm perished." He says, "The only one that is yet alive is dark, has become one of vengeance, and Teres rides him."
Does that
Okay,
dragon look like he's made out of black and stars?
he says, it is Nebularos. The two of them had their. He says they became of one accord after the shattering, after having lost what they lost and seen what they'd seen. The battle was horrific. I know that you all accomplished the maiden task, but what everyone else, what we all were enduring through out here, facing down the hordes of hell itself, was a nightmare beyond knowing. It cost us much. Antares and Nebularos have been living out, seeking vengeance ever since. Occasionally I'll still hear whispers of a dark shadow that passes over the land as they move to and fro, looking for evil, or what they approximate as evil, to devour.
Are they sure they don't want to meet the mall? Tell them about the mall.
Do they know what's up there? Do they know what a horde of real Balrogs look like, or Baelors?
Hey, Deimos, didn't we promise to bring his girlfriend back to life?
Who's?
The dude who put a bullet in you.
Oh, don't get shit. He's gonna shoot me again in the face.
Yeah. We might not want to bring him.
Fuck.
We might not want to bring him here unless we're prepared to fulfill your promise.
We should. I'm gonna find a way to bring that bitch back. I mean, that nice dragon that I definitely was not carrying the head around with for a while.
We can try tomorrow.
King Tyrell says, Kildrak speaks truthfully. There are legends that come from the shattering. Two great darknesses from the time before. He says, the mastery, which was the stuff of children's nightmares. And he points and he says, which you seem, as heroes do, to have gotten to the bottom of. He says, but even more distant and of lore is of the great darkness, the shadow dragon that can be seen flitting across the night sky. Distant, inky, its wings spanning the horizon, and of the pale rider that sits up atop his back. When they, and the rare occasions that they set to ground, only great destruction follows.
We may need to rectify that before we leave, guys. Elwin, do you think we should bring the Elf King here?
Lothrelian?
Yeah.
So you're talking to them, after the battle, Lothrelian and the remainder of his fleet returned to their land and resealed their borders. No one has heard from or traveled into Oscaria since.
I'll throw a sending at him, say, hey, it's Adis. What's up, dude? How's it going? How goes the kingly life?
And Radthorn,
Wanna come have a powwow?
Radthorn went with him. Remember Radthorn? She also disappeared into Oscaria.
Well then, I'm gonna turn to King Tyrell, Mystra, Kildrak, Eloise, everyone here, and say, who else in this world do you think we need to bring?
Captain Fluffy Paws.
Yeah, like
yes,
yeah.
Captain Fluffy Paws.
Who are
Captain Fluffy Paws
like
the strongest
prominent
thing
leaders
on this
in the world?
world.
Currently in the world, a lot of the nations were broken, and the land has not fully recovered. So, here's the map. Okay, so Eramor, this land that you're in right now, formerly known as Erolin, Prince Darius led his people, the remainers of the human um, armies, back to here, but they were most greatly shattered. And in the chaos that ensued over the remaining decades, the government and the land fell apart. Darius went off into seclusion, and Erlin itself broke apart into a bunch of smaller kingships, and it's mostly gone like to the Dark Ages. So when your other party, the level 5 ones, were going around, they had, the little town of Heathcliff that they were in was a smaller municipality, in like a little kingship that had been set up here and here. So the once mighty heart of Tandesh, Erlin, is no more. Now the bastion of human civilization is Waterdeep. They've managed to somewhat establish themselves, and you can see from Charisse that they have reestablished trade and have begun to thrive again, but nowhere near the former glory that human civilization had seen. Waterdeep and Hasselin, those two are the human bastions. Dwarves are just beginning to reestablish themselves in Cragland. They are not very strong. Oscaria is sealed off, so no one knows what's going on in there. Mistrala was devastated. The Academy and the Spire are no more whatsoever. Telephos, and with almost the total loss of all the mages and histories and magics and knowledge of Mistrala, Telephos had gone, like you saw, very dark. Osnesh and Tazwan, these two places, they're just wastelands right now, mostly uninhabited, just small townships popping up every once in a while. And that's about it. Sindalar never recovered from what Inkamel and his reapers or his leapers did to the elven population there, mostly slaughtering them. So the population of the land is much less than it was when you guys were here on Earth.
Alright, so Elwin, this is the list I've got of people that I can think of based off that. What did it not do it? What the hell?
No, you got disconnected.
My fantasy grounds is lagging. Yeah, my fantasy grounds is lagging. Give me just a second.
So while we wait, that was the brief history that they pretty much gave us of what's happening. Okay.
Yeah. So as after all that happens, a few hours go by and you catch up and hear about and exchange stories. Glitter Gold says, Yes, all well and good, yada, yada, yada. People, kingdoms, living, dying. Bleh! He says, This is not the stuff of gods. He says, You have greater tasks ahead of you. He says, What did you need me for? Tell me.
Oh, we already did.
We're
And
making you in charge of an entire realm of heaven.
He says, You want me to man a vigil so you can ascend higher. He says, Lunaria, was it?
no, it's not a want. It's a you're gonna do it.
Yes, we've agreed. There's anything for me to get off this shit bucket.
But I think something we should do is get rid of major prime problems and or evil in this place to show that the people in the land that the gods are back, and then maybe they'll start worshipping some of them. Maybe even you a little. We'll give you a little bit of that juju good juice.
He says, Had you ever thought that by removing the veil, yes, you allow the gods to restart their influence and their connection with the mortals here? He says, But as you are so wisely have so wisely told us, heaven is full of devils. You've opened up the pathway for them as well.
But I don't know if they can do that.
They the ones that made the wall shit stain. That means they could go in and out of it whenever the fuck they wanted. So it being down really didn't change anything
He says,
for
"Ah,
them
so you say, and yet they did not travel very often."
because they didn't give a shit about y'all. That's why
Right.
they
Before
got
we
God.
have
They got gods to kill. Why would they care about you mortals and a god with no power?
He
just
says,
inform everybody quickly and then kill this worm thing and then go.
he says,
All right, so let's have our conversation.
okay,
Um, Elwin, it was. I wanted to try Darius again. There's Captain Fluffy Paws. There's the dragons. The Elf King.
I
Um,
am trying Darius because I'm very curious as to what is going on because he won't answer in sending.
um, those are the only ones I could think of.
okay. Um, Darius. Hmm.
He's got a ring of mind shielding, so you can't scry on him.
It can
I,
feel the favor voluntarily if it wants to be observed.
so I'm not. I'm having trouble finding a picture that depicts this where he is. But you basically scry on him, and he's an old man. You know, now in his 60s. Um, haggard, um, drunk, in a small village, somewhere in what used to be his kingdom. Um, you could tell that he's been like this for a while. He's been drinking his and fleeing from his complete the falling apart of the kingdom, his failure to hold the kingdom together. So he's just retreated into depression, and he's a very very faint shadow of his former self.
I see. And I'm looking at Cherries, an old lady. Do I happen to see a tree near him by any chance? Like outside this pub? You know, where a bird is chirping on it, maybe? I don't.
Sure.
Perfect. I'd be like, ladies, would you like to get a man out of his drink and into you? I mean, um, no, I mean, not into you, but would you like to just come and get a guy over here because he's totally in the depths of his drink?
Charisse looks a little bit appalled. Um, Lula is all for it. She says,
I will.
she says,
I will
she says,
teeth
she
stride.
says, darling, drunk old men are my specialty.
Perfect. That sounds great.
Does she give Geralt a glance when she says that?
Sure.
I just thought of someone I can't believe we forgot.
Who?
Finsor.
Biffin?
He's a dragon. I was
He's not
including
there
him
on
in
this
the.
plane anymore, right?
Biffin.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think he was on this plane anymore.
yeah, I was considering him when I was saying the dragons. Yeah, we should definitely try to hit him up if he's still around. I'll add him to the list. So.
Okay.
Oh. Captain Fluffy Paws is the were chick.
Yes. She's a cat bear. Okay.
And Renly's going to take care of Darius, so we don't need to get him.
So Renly, you and Lula go to the small town where Darius is. He's slumped in the corner of this really run-down, shitty tavern. He smells of piss and beer, a little bit of vomit. His hair is all tangled. His he's grown fat, and he's just a real mess of a man.
I see. Hmm. And then I'm going to sort of message Adis by sending to her and be like, Adis, would you be able to truthfully morph someone into a reflection of their prior self by any chance? I mean, like what you did for Telephos. I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, I would need Elwin because Elwin helped me do that. Elwin and Deimos helped me with Telephos.
Now you
But
guys
yeah, we
return.
could
You actually reverse Telephos' aging.
make him young again.
Is that what you want to do to Darius?
I feel like maybe I should kill him and then bring him, reincarnate him.
I would prefer to not. I'd preferably not do it in the middle of a tavern.
What's wrong with Darius?
Nothing.
Hey Deimos, you see that gray-haired old man over there standing next to us? The guy who looks like he's drunk all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Darius is basically like that, but 100 times worse.
Oh, awesome. Let's fix him. He sounds like he's the person worshipper of Tempest.
Yeah, he needs to find Tempest is what's wrong with Darius. He needs to find Tempest.
Let's fix him.
Oh, he's also balding.
He's more aerodynamic now. He's fast as shit. He's like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Here, this is as close as I could find. He looks a little bit more pathetic than this, but
A little bit more.
and older. But that's about the
That's
right age.
my boy. Alright. I'm gonna fix him.
Can you possibly bring him here, Renly?
I mean, we can totally kidnap him. I mean, I'm escort him.
You have a king's permission to kidnap him.
Good. Which king?
The one who's standing right next to me says it's okay.
Got it.
You look over and you see Tyrell. He's like looking in the reflection of the armor plate that Killjack is fixing for him, and he's like flexing in front of the reflection.
Thanks, Reed. You have to do this. I show him the moves.
He says, Deimos, I want no part in your perversion, just so you know.
What are you talking? I have no idea what anyone's talking about.
He says, I follow the path of the old Deimos, the former Deimos before he was defiled.
Wait,
The man you used to be. That's who we follow.
I have no idea what.
Not the man you are now. The broken,
This massive dam.
depraved, and
I don't know what it's
perverted version of yourself.
But I can't tell. I hope this dam never goes down, because if it does, Deimos is gonna lose his shit.
Okay. So you guys bring Darius over to you. So Darius is
I
there.
am totally polymorphing him into a bunny, and then I'm bringing him back because
Okay.
I lose track of what I should be doing to get him here. I'm like, never mind, we'll just talk together. Bunny, and then we go.
You guys pop him back in. He's where you are now. What else are you guys doing?
Alright, so how did we do this for Telephos? Because I honestly forget what we did to do it.
You sparked a. It wasn't
We
polymorph.
Yeah, we did a modified version because there's the spell that can let you basically revert someone's age. And
Yeah.
we basically fudged it between
Yeah.
the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all three of you working together.
Alright, let's try that again for Darius.
Do it.
Can we add one little Elwin, Deimos, what do you guys think about removing his memory for the last 30 years?
No. And
No.
if there's one thing
Experience on memory
Deimos
loss.
knows, is never hide anything in your head that you don't want to know about yourself. I'm always honest with myself, and there's nothing I'm afraid of.
Alright, we'll just do it like normal again then.
Okay. So roll your sparks. Do you have sparks to
Yeah,
contribute to this?
Yeah, wait, that was so a 2 in chat.
So mine's a 2.
Nice.
Working together in concert, you are able to reverse Darius's aging, much like you did with Telephos. So Darius was. I guess the only picture I had was his back when he was in his like not lich form, but almost lich form.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine this, but less dark. Okay?
What's up, Darius?
Actually, no, still dark. Because now, instead of drunk and depressed and pathetic, he's back to his young self, but his mood hasn't much changed.
Being more depressed, yes.
Yeah.
Darius.
He looks up at you all. He says, I can think clearly. The drink is gone from my system. He looks down at his hands and he says, why did you take that away from me?
I'm gonna go up to him and slap him in the face. I'm gonna say, "Get a hold of yourself."
You did before I could.
He grits his teeth and he looks back at you. You can see strong emotion in his face, a mixture of anger and shame, just washing over him.
I'm gonna say, after like that meant to shock him. Do you want your sister to see you like this?
He says, my sister.
Yes, she is well.
You've
And she has taken over a plane of heaven, and she's working with us to fight this evil. And you're down here drinking yourself away, wasting the man that you are. I never thought that the Darius I knew would grow to be this. I'm disappointed.
He screams, and as he does, you can feel his just his power rolling off of him. His back sprouts these large radiant wings, and as he clenches his fist, he drops down to the ground and he slams his fist into the ground, smiting the very earth that you're standing on. There's a loud shattering, breaking sound as the rock cracks, flashes of light as he screams, tears streaming from his face, as he's beating, basically pouring all his energy into this outpouring of emotion and rage. A few, tense moments go by as he expends every ounce of his energy into breaking the earth underneath him. And in the small crater that is remaining there, his hands bloodied, his wings faded, drenched in sweat, him breathing heavily, he says, I have known only failure these past years. I have seen the loss of everything I knew and loved. I have shamed myself in the eyes of my father as I could not hold together what he'd built. My mother, gone. My sister, gone. My kingdom and my lands, gone. He looks up at you guys. He says, if there is another way, if you have a path forward for me, he says, then I will take it. If my sister yet lives, as gods, it's been so long. Yes, I will take it. And he kind of slumps down to the ground.
There he is. Hey, Darius. Reach out to your sister. She will answer.
He begins to pray. He says, Achelia, beloved of mine own heart and of our mother and father, goddess, divine, hear my prayer. The sky begins to glow a brilliant silver light shines down on him in this the evening, the nighttime sky. There's no moon, but the place is bathed in the silvery light, and you see a wispy um, projection of Akelia appear before him. She says, "Brother, I heard you. I heard your voice. Fear not. Fret no longer. I am alive, and so are you. Our family continues in you. The hope that our parents had remains still. Brother, be strong." He stands up to his feet and he looks her in the eye, both of them in tears. He holds her hand and he says, "My sister, you always were the stronger of us. Now it is time for me, the elder." He laughs a little bit. He says, "To follow you. Command it of me, and I will do it." She smiles, and she says, "Be the man I know you are. Be the king that Father longed for you to be." She emotionally, through tears, she says, "I love you, brother. You can do this." He nods. Says, "I shall." She smiles and turns to you all and says, "Thank you for saving him. Things are well here for now. The mountain is growing dark, though. Don't tarry long." And her projection shimmers away. Okay. Darius stands a little taller. Alright, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I look to Mistra and say, "See, your protege is doing quite well."
She looks up at you and she says, "She's so beautiful. And noble." And then a bit of ancient, a much wiser look comes to her face for just a moment, replacing the young naivety, and she says, "She will do marvelously well." And then that look just kind of vanishes.
Alright, gents, so that's my list of people I could think of that we might want to talk to.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I can find an older version of a cat lady.
No, she's the kitten.
This might be a dangerous Google search. Hold on a
I
second.
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Just give it the good old fashioned
9
Captain
lives.
Fluffy Paw picture
Hold
in
on,
cat form. That's all we need.
He's been reincarnated 9 lives.
I've got you one. I might have one for you. It's not old. It's not old, but it'll be cool though. Where is it?
Ooh, okay. Her name is Nina. Remember that?
Remember when we had her with wands and magic missiles?
Yeah, that was the best, like artillery cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. You had an image?
Oh no, it's got wings, so
Wings.
it won't work.
Just
Yeah.
give me the regular cat. She looks the same. Gosh damn. Just my baby girl. She's cute and cuddly.
Oh, remember?
No, Nina, why did you go emo? I'll be here for you. You don't have to. Daddy's here. I always believed in you.
Remember those?
Oh yeah. This your
Spiritual
sacred
guardians.
spiritual guardians. That's
Yeah.
what they were. Yeah.
Their guardians. That's still what they are. I just like my spiritual guardians are so weak. They're just I can't use them for anything.
Yeah. You just haven't cast them in a while.
Yeah.
Nina steps through. An older version. This is like the live action
Yeah.
version of Cats the musical. Like,
Nina, we're taking you to heaven. You become the new saloon. I came up with this idea because it makes sense to me.
so this is her hybrid form. She's finally managed to so she was originally a cat that could turn herself to humanoid. So this as she's been able to, so basically just like with were people, and they can go like, so Inkamel, when he was aware Tarask, he transformed from human to the hybrid version, so half human, half Tarask, and that's the only version you saw. That's the only version he was capable of, right? The highest form of lycanthropy is to transform into the thing that you are not completely, right? So Inkamel was never even able to come close to transforming into a full Tarask. Nina, being a cat, right, has grown great in her power of lycanthropy. So the more human she looks, the more is basically a representation of her power as a lycanthrope. So the fact that she appears to you mostly humanoid now, in lycanthrope's terms, is a symbol of it's a stature symbol, basically. Does it make sense?
So she's still just my little baby kitty. Is that what you're saying?
This is
That's
the
right,
old.
that's
This
what
is
you're
this is like the oldest NPC in the game right here, from session 2. She said, she steps out and she says, "Deimos, my old master, you've come back to us." And she walks forward to you. Her movements, graceful and feline. She just walks up and just wraps you in a huge embrace. She's short, she's like 4'8" or something like that.
Oh, my baby kitty. Oh, you've grown so much. I'm so proud of you, Captain Fluffy Paws.
She nuzzles you a little bit and she says, "It's been so long. So much has happened. Ever since you disappeared," she says, "we were on our way. We were coming to help you. I was leading our people to the shattering. There was a war and she says, we encountered demons many. We fought them as bravely as we could, lost many. But you're here. You've returned after all this time."
We've been in heaven, fighting really fucking big things. It's insane. The over God Midas. He's a jerk. He's trying to kill us. I swear. It's part of his sick game.
She paws your face a little bit and she says, "But you're alive.
Is
You've won.
somehow.
I always knew you would."
Well, you don't have to worry about this world anymore. We're taking you with us to heaven.
She says, she pauses. She says, "No, Nina,
Wait.
not for heaven.
What are you talking
Nina
about?
is for Earth,
Uh,
with Nina's
what?
people."
You're way too cute and fluffy and cuddly for this earth. This earth doesn't deserve your four fluffy little paws and your nice 12-pound body in cat form and how you like to eat tuna fish and you're my kitty cat. You're my baby girl.
She says,
We could bring them all with us.
she says, Nina has whole tribe full of other wares
Okay.
to care for. Nina
Wait a
has many
second.
kittens, and
What? Wait. you told me. What did you just say?
Nina has had many kittens in years past.
Okay, I see what you're
Kittens
saying
upon
right now.
kittens upon kittens.
But I have to. I'm
And Nina has
So-
given, and the litters that Nina has had have had litters of their own, and litters of their own.
So I get what you're saying here, but I don't think our languages are matching up. So where's Mr. Nina?
She says, oh, there have been several.
Oh, son of a bitch. Wait, give me the names. Beat your bitch asses. I'm gonna crush them. I'm gonna stick them in a fucking hole, and I'm gonna stomp on them to their pile of fucking goop.
You hear behind
I
her.
mean, I take care of you, and I care about you a lot.
You hear coming from down at her feet, and this is the first time you look down. You hear a faint meowing. Right, and she looks down. She says, "Oh, darling," she said. She reaches down and she picks up a small black and white cat, and she says,
Deimos
She's-
loses his shit and
she's-
he picks up the cat and snuggles it too
she
much.
says, "Don't be afraid, darling." She says, "Him not mean." He says, "Him friend from long past." And she looks up and she says, "Friend Deimos, this is my this is Nina's great granddaughter, youngest of most recent litter."
Duh.
She says, "She's young and a bit weak, so I've been caring for her."
We'll make her strong. Papa Deimos isn't even crying that much. I'm still gonna beat up those guys real bad and break all their legs and smash them to pulp. But these kitties are fucking adorable.
She says,
Nina, I'm so proud of you.
"Oh, Deimos need not beat them. Nina already has."
Yes, very good. Very good. Oh, yes. I'm so proud of you.
She says, "Deimos, this is Nina's offspring, youngest great grandchild." She says, "Nina knew that there would be a purpose for her someday. Time has come."
Yes, Kildrak, scrap that armor. Build me the most greatest protective, awesomest cat carrier again.
She hands you the small black and white kitten. Just care for her as you did me.
Yes, I will make you the most powerful cat in existence.
You mean leave you behind on the previous plane while he goes on to the next plane? Okay.
Never. This cat's going all the way to the top. And it's gonna sit on the throne. It will be the new overgod.
Alright, so Nina
Yeah,
is,
Angel.
as she said, she has her own tribe of lycanthropes now. And you know that lycanthropes, they break up into tribes based on their kind. So she's one, she's the cat, the cat ruler, the elder of the cat clan. And you know, there's the tigers and the wolves and the I think there was an elephant, wasn't there? Yeah, and a bear.
Mhm.
Yeah, so all those things. So the lycanthrope tribes were involved in the war that you never saw them. They were coming to meet you in Rapnesh when everything went down. So there was great fighting on their part as well. They many of them survived, and as they went back to their lands, they've been able to repopulate over the last 30 years. So they are the primary inhabitants now of the former land of the Wood Elves. So Sindalar. Up here. As the elven population was decimated by the Leapers, the lycanthropes have have kind of come into their own there. What are we linking? Oh my goodness. What is this cat picture?
This is horrible.
Oh man. Oh. That's just
I need to
freaky.
take a moment to pet my own
What
cat.
the-
To, like, you know, wash this out of my brain.
Oh man. That's like. Oh, here. This is what I think about when I think of humanoid cats. That's James Corden in the most recent Cats movie.
Oh no.
Apparently, it was a terrible, terrible movie.
Yeah, I heard it got real bad. It was like what? How long did it take to make? 10 years?
Something like that. But like all the cats were like really weird looking. They look like humans, but they were cats, and they were like overly sexualized or something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So, anyway.
I mean,
Ew, ew, why?
All right. So King Lothrelian on your list, he does not respond. The dragons don't respond, Adis. The Goblin King, the goblins were destroyed. You guys were fighting, what's his name?
They were annihilated.
Zerebos.
It's the guy. It's the one that Elwyn gave the wand of magic missiles to that we
Yeah.
saved and told him to go
Yeah, he's
underground.
dead.
Yeah, what's his name? The Storm Dragon was chasing you or fighting you. Was it the Storm or the Fire Dragon?
What's
One
his
of them.
name?
You get the corrupted versions of them when Tiamat came back and captured Nebularos.
Sniffleface.
we should also think about those.
Yeah.
The Dragon clan, like those Dragon kind people.
Yeah, fuck those
Oh
guys.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You guys were
fuck
you
those
guys were
guys.
jumping planes to try to run away from the dragon, but the dragons could jump planes too. And you guys jumped to the Goblin land, and he basically fireballed the whole kingdom of goblins, and they all died.
Oh, that's right. Then I would have known he was gone. So can I swap him out for that Dragonborn dude, the leader guy, not the
my-
backpack.
Other girlfriend that stabbed me and made my arm all fucked up.
Oh,
Maylin?
Kian Mei was her name.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have to find a picture of an old Asian lady.
That shouldn't be hard, but be careful.
Whenever I Google stuff, because I'm looking for artistic renderings, basically, right? I don't want just actual pictures of old Asian people. Oh, here. No, I don't want to do this. I should, but I don't want to. That's what Ken May looks like nowadays.
That's a good one.
Remember when we
Oh
was it
my
her
God.
father or her grandfather that when
Yeah.
he was taking shit, we exploded him?
No. Yeah, that's right. It was her uncle.
Yeah.
You guys, what's this? Asian lady. Now this is what she used to look like. And everyone knows that Asians don't age, so she still looks like that.
There he is. Oh shit. She's not mad at us anymore, is she?
No. She stabbed Elwyn in the arm, and then she ran away. She'll come through. She's an older version of this. I'm trying to find a picture. I don't have one. But she's lived in her. As the devastation hit their land, she and her family kind of fled to the hills, and have been, making their way, surviving. She's older now. She's the same age as the other old ladies. Okay. Renly, what are you doing?
That's my kitty.
Is that your real life kitty?
Yeah, I adopted her. It's now 30 days.
Wait, really? For real? This is your real life kitty?
Yeah.
Are these
Yeah.
all your cat pictures here?
Yeah. She's adorable. She's just looking at me, going like, "When are you going to be done? And why aren't you petting me again?"
That's super cute.
She's adorable. She's tiny.
What's her name?
Toast. Because
Toast.
she's like in brown and black.
I like how you
I
made an
bought
Instagram page just for
I
her.
bought it like yes, I bought like a toast cushion, so soon I'll be toast on toast. She makes me so happy. But
That's
yeah,
super cute.
she's adorable and her claws are super sharp. And now your minds feel clear and blessed. And let's forget all about all of these pictures.
Yes, yes. Okay. Kian Mei doesn't have much. She's basically been a farmer for the past. She's been raising crops off in some small part of the kingdom since then. Pablo comes through. I don't see if there's any art for an old Mexican man.
Why?
He gets even better.
Why?
All right, here we go. This is the first thing that pops up, so I'm using it. Pablo pops through the portal.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Pablo, you leveled up.
Yeah, you did.
And he goes, "Ah, hermanos, hermanos." He says, "So good to see you, my friends." He says, "It's been so long since you've been here. Pablo has made mucho dinero while you have been gone. Yes, the chimichanga business, she is thriving, and tequila has become the tequila has become the new beer, the new white claw of this land. It's been fucking amazing, my friends."
That's good to hear, Pablo. We knew you could make it.
He says, "Pablo has long retired." He says, my children, they run the business." Yes. "Pablo has been living large, so smoking many cigars and cigaretos." Um, he he says, "And also inventing the new secret recipe."
What are we talking about?
He says, "Pablo has ventured into new brand of special hot sauce, my friends. It goes with everything. It makes the chimichangas better. Plus 3 chimichangas become plus 5s. I put it in the tequila and makes the tequila, it is amazing."
Oh.
Oh no, we need these. Please, give us the goods.
"Pablo's special hot sauce, my friends." He kind of opens up his jacket, and you see a few, like just 2 small bottles. He says, This is the kind of thing that people kill for."
I will give you anything you want for that.
"Nonsense! You are the ones who brought Pablo and his family out. You saved me and my seis. No, siete, ocho. How many children did Pablo have?"
476.
He says, "All of them. You helped save all the children." He says, "I give you free." And he hands them over for you.
This
Two
is
two
child
bottles
labor.
of Pablo's super special hot sauce. He says, "You drink this, or you put or you apply to your food when you are in worst of times, worst of situations. It will give you the kick in the pants you need."
How can we repay you?
He says, "My friends, this is me repaying you."
How about 800 platinum pieces?
He says, "Pablo shits platinum daily." He says,
How about 207 blood coins?
You still have those things? Blood
Yeah,
chips
sure.
from
I
hell?
have 207 random blood chips that I've just been carrying around.
This is perfect.
Those are gonna devalue soon.
I just looked in my inventory. I have 0 gold. I don't have any money.
Oh my god.
I have 1 gold piece and like almost 6,000 platinum in blood coins.
Man, how long has it
I
been
think-
since we used money?
Too
I think
fucking
Pablo
long.
can buy all of us, like everyone in this council. He can buy all of us and sell us all as well.
Yeah. Tyrell leans up to you, Damos. He says, Pablo is the richest man in on the continent. He says he doesn't need anything from you, Tamos. Okay, so that's who you've accumulated here. The mage chick from Hasland. So you're talking about
Caliota.
Caliota. Yeah, she was old back then. She's dead now. It's been too long. She's aged out.
Oh, we should go raid her workshop.
We could bring her back if you want, Owen.
We got the satellizer now. So we went from Caliota to Kildrak to Satellizer.
And then we're gonna go back to Kildrak once we get him that forge.
Okay, what do you
Yeah,
guys want?
Kildrak is portable.
You guys have accumulated quite the crew here. What do you want to do?
Is there anybody else you want, Owen? I can do the spell one more time.
I think this is as much as we're gonna get. I turned to our gathering.
I'm running out of cups.
I turn to our
Yeah.
gathering here and say, "Do you guys believe there should be anyone else here for this meeting?"
They pause and they look around. So the only one else you might want to try to get a hold of is Radthorn. Remember her? She was.
I thought we tried, and you said that she was.
You tried the
No,
king,
She wasn't.
but
Yeah, we
Radthorn.
did try Redthorn.
Yeah. But let's just say for sake of simplicity that she shows up as well,
Alright.
because she would.
No,
Another one
we're
of my
not.
ladies.
Renly, we can't bring in Tyrese until we're ready to revive his girlfriend. Because if we bring him right now, he's just gonna show up and murder Deimos, or try to.
I mean, I could try to bring her back.
Who's Robin?
Robin!
Oh, Robin.
Robin!
Perfect.
We had
Yes.
a full session of Robin and Foxy.
Another
Yes, steal
victim of
him.
euphemia.
Oh,
Oh, no, he was a
Robin.
victim of Kevin's character,
Yeah, Feldorn.
Feldorn. What about
With
Yeah.
Feldorn?
Robin, but yes.
Feldorn. Okay, so Feldorn.
Is in the wilds.
You left him in the Feywild to heal.
Time
'Cause he-
works very differently there.
Yeah, because he had been
And-
seriously messed up by by ingesting the catalyst, that Inkmel was searching for, the blossom, the Black Lotus.
Yeah, that's true.
Ashok died a long time ago. And all the former NPCs I think were addressed. So
Except for one that we need. We gotta first go to our ruined little fort we used to have. Steal whatever's left of that dragon head. And also that pillar we got from Quigley.
We don't need the head.
Ooh,
Deimos.
Quickly. And also beat up that giant purple worm. Fuck that mini face bitch.
Dragon Head? What Dragon Head?
From like session like freaking
And
No,
Tyrese's
30.
girlfriend.
the first girlfriend. The
Oh,
yeah.
Isolin's head. The reason why he attacked you in the first place.
Yeah, and before we wound up going to heaven, we
And that
promised
was
to bring her back.
100% Euphemia's fault. Why
She's
did
a
she
shadow
even
dragon.
be the attack?
Yeah. And we promised to bring her back. That's why he fought with us in that fight.
No. You guys promised to bring back the Dragon Lord lady.
Mhm.
Shit, I'm forgetting my own characters' names.
Yeah, that dragon. And that's
What
why.
happens
Ice
when you
dragon,
go
yeah.
to a different plane of existence? Yes.
It happens
It's
when your
all a
game
blur.
is almost 4 years old. And this is like session 168.
Mhm.
Yeah,
2
we
weeks
promised.
is actually like 6 months.
Yeah, we promised to bring her back, and that's why he fought with us in the last fight. So I think if we call him here, he's gonna start shooting if she ain't here waiting for him.
It was Shaylin was her name, I think. No, was it? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
No, Shaylin.
Let me
Yeah,
grab
it was
my
it was
book.
the dragon that was
Mo.
chasing us through all the plains.
No, that was the wind one. It was the ice one.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, the one we fought in the in the astral plane. Yeah, I could try
It
to
was
bring her back
Shaylin. I just
tomorrow,
grabbed
but
my
I can't
notes.
do it today
Yeah,
because I need to
Shaylin.
sleep
Shaylin,
10
female
hours.
ice dragon, white.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can bring her back tomorrow. Or try.
Okay.
I can't do it today because I need my wish to be able to do it. Unless you can cast True Resurrection, Damos, but I think your spells are still like iffy, right?
Yeah. That's why I think we might have to like wait a day. But I was like, in between while waiting a day, we can kill that worm and come back and
Oh,
rest.
okay. Shaylin in her uniform. That's her.
I mean, it's not like you have someone else who heals and does do resurrection.
No one in nobody
Wait,
heals.
Wait, you can cast True Resurrection, Renly? Out of character? I thought druids couldn't cast True Resurrection.
Are you kidding me?
No, I thought the only res they got was the one that changes your body.
Are you kidding me?
I don't play druids.
True resurrection clerics and druids.
Okay, well then you True Resurrect her and we'll help you.
Yay! Okay. Yes, I wasn't too familiar with her, so yes, we'll definitely need some help.
You just need to know her name.
Oh, okay. Oops. How do I do this? Okay, there. Sorry, I dragged it by accident.
And
There we go.
I can donate you a spark in spell slots if he allows.
It's gonna take quite a bit to bring her back. It took a lot to bring back Ava.
Alrighty.
It took because the after the shattering, it disconnected, and with the gods passing, it disconnected the spiritual a lot from the spiritual realm from the mortal realm, and threw much of that whole system into chaos. And
Good thing.
yeah, to
We're
bring back
chaos
a dragon
incarnate.
lord it would take a lot.
Okay, so what I'm doing
Do it.
is I'm using my 10th level spell for this.
Oh, nice.
I can donate a spark in a 9th level.
I'm gonna donate a spark and a guidance.
And I'm using. Can I use Foresight? I'm gonna use Foresight on myself just because I have no idea if this will even work. So my 9th and 10th levels are gone to this.
Mm-hmm.
And so 9th and 10th are Foresight, 10th level for the Therese, Spark of Insight, and anyone shoving a spark in there.
Right,
Yeah,
yes.
I will put a spark in there as well.
Alrighty.
Ooh, there you go.
Also, here's your D4.
But
That's
this
3
is
points right there.
this is my last spark of the day, so yes.
Oh, shit.
it was
3 for
good.
me.
3-3.
we
Really
got a-
good. Okay.
Okay, and now
Also-
I rolled a 20.
And I do want to point out I did roll that 3 on the guidance.
Did you really
Fuck.
roll 20?
You
I
did roll
rolled a
20.
20!
I think we did it, guys. High five, everyone.
We just
So that's a
resurrected a
t-
dragon.
that's a
Lord.
10th
20
level spell, baby!
times 3
Oh
times
my
3
god.
times 3.
Okay.
Oh wait,
times,
wait,
times 9.
wait, Midas.
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. I got one other thing that we can all possibly do, but give me 1 second here. So resurrections Does divine magic in your world use the weave?
Divine magic?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then never mind.
Okay.
Did it.
As you guys are casting, people are standing back from you. They see you all joining together. You guys form a small semicircle. You've done this several times now, but your eyes shine a brilliant, awakened blue. Like I said, they've been paying you deference because they see you as something that they're not familiar with, and Mistress shields her eyes. Killjack just stands there, bewildered, just in amazement. Likewise, all the other these are powerful people that you summoned here. The most powerful in the world, honestly. Telephos himself and Ava, they stop what they're doing and they just watch you. Over in the corner, you see the Witcher, Geralt, wizened and hundreds of years old, but definitely powerful in his own right, just standing in awe, his jaw loose, and gone slack as you guys summon a kind of energy that none of them have even an inkling of understanding about. As you guys begin to do this, a lightning bolt strikes the ground next to you, and Radthorn appears there. The symbols and the glyphs that are carved all over her body, glowing brilliant stormlight. She looks exactly the same. From high above the High Squall Citadel, she's ancient, and she looks exactly the same as you saw her last. And she just watches you guys as well, paying you the same homage, the same deference that everyone else is. And as the winds build and swirl together, and as the light in the sky, you guys have been going about this quite late. It's mostly all night. The dawn is approaching, and you see the night sky beginning to change in tone, as you can tell that sunrise is just about an hour away. You pull together energy from all parts of the world, bits and fragments and shards of ice, little molecules of water from deep beneath the ground, as her essence has been spread over the past 30 years to far and wide. And you, each of you weaving the fabric of reality, each of you manipulating probability, the laws of physics, magic itself, divinity. All of it is manipulable and moldable in your hands as you four work together. And as the crystalline fragments begin to coalesce in front of you from all places in the world, they grow and they build. It takes several minutes, but the form begins to stretch out, and you see in front of you the rough shape of a dragon molded from ice, shards of and spikes of icicles poking out all over the place, horns and wingspan, and you concentrate together, and there's a flash of brilliant blue as life is breathed into the form, and her soul returns to her. Shaylin, the elder dragon of ice, has been brought back. She stands up, easily the largest creature here. Her tail wrapping around the hill, the entire hill that you guys are standing on. She stands up on her fours. She shakes her body like a dog would when it's wet. Stretches out her back, flares her wings, and lets loose a primal roar. And as she does so, the temperature around you drops about 20 degrees, and a light frost settles across the land and the trees and the rocks, and even across your clothes and your hair. She looks down at you all, and behind those eyes that are easily 40 or 50 feet up above you, you see wonder. And she says, "You called me back from the void, from the land where dragons go to rest. You've returned me." And her body glistens and begins to shrink and retract in on itself. And she stands before you there. Human female, a small, a hint of a feral look in her eyes. Nothing, wearing just a simple white shift. And she drops down to a single knee and she bows before you. And she says, "For that, I owe you my eternal servitude."
Oh, I have no desire to get killed. But thanks.
Okay.
Yeah,
I salute her, letting her know that there's no need for servitude.
Well, I don't want servitude, but one thing would be nice. Could you get in Terry's sabers to promise to never shoot me again?
She says, she stands up, she says, "And Terry's."
Well,
"Yes."
he's crazy now.
She looks up, she
He's
says,
right on top of crazy Nibbleros. They're insane.
"He has been looking for me. And he does ride." She sniffs the air. She says, "Oh, Nebularos, what have you become?" She says,
Do you
"My
think
brother."
you can?
She says, "My brother. He's been broken, his mind and his heart shattered." She looks up at you, Elwyn, and Deimos, and she says, "Oh, and all four of you." She says, "Shall I go to them?"
Well, I guess you might as well take us with you.
She looks up, she says, "They are out there amongst the stars."
Do you think you can speak some sense into them? We don't want to hurt them.
She says, "If anyone can, it would be me." She inclines her head and she says, "Do I have your leave to depart?"
do we need to give her a rundown before she leaves?
If you're able to talk them down, let them know that we have fulfilled our promise, late though it is, but let them know that we need to speak with everybody, and they need to hear everything that's been going on.
Why don't you just hold on to one of our sending stones and you can list it in? That might help because you can fly and listen. I mean, multitask.
She takes the stone. Red Thorn steps up and she puts her hand on Shaylin's shoulder, and she says, "I can help you on your way. My tower rests above the world, and it peers clearly into the stars. The two of us working together will be able to find them more quickly." Shaylin nods. They step back, and Shaylin says, "I will return after I have found them, and they will be with me." And in a flash of light, Radthorn takes Shaylin up to the citadel.
Good luck.
And we never see them again.
Probably not. They're gonna turn into lesbian lovers, and we'll never see them again.
At least, Deimos doesn't have a bullet waiting for him.
Yeah,
I think I could take him.
I don't know.
I don't know.
With him and Nebularis, I don't know if you could take them,
don't even-
Deimos.
Look at me.
You don't have no spells.
What are
You
talking
could bench press them, but I
What
don't
are
know if you could take them.
spells?
We can take him.
We can take him.
No, I didn't mean we. I meant Deimos. I meant Deimos
No,
can bench
I,
press.
I can do it.
That's right, Deimos. You can tear the fabric of space-time, so yeah.
That's fucking straight. I would even. You guys have a hard time teleporting with your fancy magic. All you have to do is flex and do the ripping and the tearing.
King Tyrell steps up to you and says, Deimos,
Yeah,
flexing
so
I'm okay with, but I never want to hear the words ripping and tearing
I'm a
coming
fucking
from your
ripping
mouth
turd.
again.
I was the most powerful creature in existence for about 13 minutes.
Deimos, I've seen pictures of you ripping and tearing, and
I'm gonna
just so you
take-
know,
King Tyrell aside and kind of one-on-one explain the curse or explain exactly
Yes.
what happened. And I'm gonna tell him that I cast a spell on Deimos, making him think that all of his pamphlets are still okay because I couldn't take seeing Deimos like that. So that's the reason, and hope he understands. And I'll make sure Deimos doesn't go into hassling if he plays along with us right now.
Tyrell goes, oh, the poor man.
Yes.
The poor broken man.
What are you talking about? Not me. The only thing that's broke about me is how.
I'm gonna tell. Oh yes.
You are very
Don't
broke.
mention about him being married, because it'll just be a shit show.
He walks. Tyrell walks up to you, Deimos, and his countenance has changed. He puts a hand on your shoulder, and he says, Deimos,
Yes.
get the help you need.
Yes.
Hang on to that therapy cat that you
Right.
have there.
What are you talking about?
And if you ever get well, and you can prove that you
This
are
cat's
well,
name?
and certain documents are erased and expunged from
What is
reality?
he talking about, guys?
if that ever
Right.
happens, perhaps, maybe you'll be welcome in Hasselin again, but definitely
I
not
don't know
now.
what's going on.
Definitely not now.
Hey, Deimos. I think a good first step would be to tell King Tyrell about the octopus episode.
Right. I have literally no idea what you're talking about. I know we went to the first plane of heaven. Second plane of heaven, I
No,
don't
this was-
remember
this-
much
This was
of.
before heaven, remember?
What are we talking about?
In that tavern?
What tavern?
With your mom.
Wait,
With your mom?
I don't know.
Like James is starting to get like vague shadows of memories, and like she's shaking his head. He's like,
No. No.
Pablo comes up to you and he hands you a liter of tequila. He says,
downs it in
"My
two
friend," he says, "you'll need some of this right now."
Oh, thank you. I mean, go over here.
He kind of pulls you over to the side, and he kind of shoos the rest of you off. He says, and he kind of gives you a knowing nod to all of you, and he says, and he begins to walk off with you, Deimos. And he says, "My friend,
Yes.
if Pablo had a peso for every time that Pablo has done something regretful in the bed, well, Pablo would be richer than Pablo is right now, if you know what I mean."
Yes. But what does it have to do with the Deimos?
He says, drink more.
Yes.
Just be quiet and drink.
I got you, bro. I understand what you're talking about.
Okay. Alright. So you've sent Radthorn and Shaylin off to try to find Antares and Nebularos. You're not sure when they'll return. But for now, like I said, you have the most powerful and influential people in the world here with you now. And also Lula, who has just become part of a the head, the leadership of a small town. She's a bit of an odd duck in the mix there.
I'll
And a
make shift.
kitty.
I'll make shift us like magic us up like some nice real tent with a table and chairs in it.
Okay.
So we're not just standing out here in the open.
Okay.
Something a little more formal.
Yeah. Everyone else, as far as I can tell, a lot of the people that you asked about have died. Quigley is dead. He got cut in half by the same guy who killed Ava. No. He got killed by one of the other ones. Yeah, I think these are all that's left. All the wizards and the mages from Mistrala are gone.
What about those guys who went over the mountain in Rapnesh? Who were they? The ones that went over the mountain on the borderlands, the border mountains?
So that was the Goliaths and the Dragonborn.
Yeah, so their leaders we could try to get a hold of.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Those it would be a different
They're still
generation
alive.
now, and those, like I said, a lot of the army, the war was terrible. You talk to them, and the people here, they haven't heard or seen from the Dragonborn tribes or the Goliaths. You're not sure if their entire species were exterminated, but they took heavy losses in the war and have not recovered.
Okay, so they're probably not useful right now.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So what do you guys want to do with them? Is there anything you want to communicate to them?
I think Elwin's gonna probably spend like a few hours explaining everything, right? That was the idea.
Okay. Is there some way? Are you trying to coordinate something, some effort, or?
I feel that is something we will figure out in the next session.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea at the moment. What are we having a dinner party, guys? Like, what are we planning on?
Yeah, I just made a nice royal tent with chairs and a table for you to serve us all tea.
So as you have brought everyone together, Glitter Gold is off in the corner, just pacing back and forth nervously. You can tell he's not really comfortable being around all these people and all that's happening. But he's waiting impatiently. Okay.
Is it really bothering you that much, Glitter Gold?
He says yes.
I'll make a here. I've got something for you. I'll make a magnificent mansion for him to go hide in.
No, because we need to speak. He needs to be here too. He needs to know what's going on. He's going to be part of the plan.
Oh right, yeah, that's true. That is true.
Okay. So you guys think about what you're gonna say and what you're gonna do, and we'll pick it up next week.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
dude. Thanks for running it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was fun. This was fun bringing back all the old characters.
Yeah.
We
That's
got
the best,
we
yeah.
got more of them than I expected to be alive.
I know, right? I'm like, these are survivors, y'all.
What's
I mean, I kind of expected the prince to be alive because he was so young, and I don't think he was at the battle if I remember correctly. So I kind of expected him, but the rest.
What's crazy is that all these characters have pretty much had either one or two of their own story arcs that you guys went on adventures with them or had to rescue them or something crazy throughout the years.
The old lady was the biggest surprise.
And I finally have a picture for Pablo. I think that works. So
Owen has now been involved in some sort of sexual activities with the old lady on 2 different characters.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Eskimo brothers.
Eskimo Brothers. Oh no, Eskimo Brothers. You and Gwen. All right,
like
guys.
it should be. All right.
All right.
I'll see you guys next week.
Yep, catch y'all next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you next week.